address Leonard Simpson.
There's a story about a farmer who plowed his field near a majestic mountains. And whenever he looked at this mountain, he felt a calling to climb. Yet he felt insecure, and he wanted to stay secure in his own field. But the calling came nonetheless, as if there was a grand master standing at the top of the mountain, beckoning him, calling him to climb. Over time, he eventually answered the call, and he mustered the courage to move onto that path and start climbing the mountain. It was a hard, difficult journey. He was hungry, exhausted, tired. But when he eventually got to the top, he indeed did see the Grand Master standing on top of the crest. And the Grand Master was reaching down a hand for him to climb up into the top of the mountain. Now the Grand Master was rather formidable, a bit like the judges here at Toastmasters. But even though he was formidable, the farmer reached for the hand, and the Grand Master pulled him to the top. And the farmer spread his arms in gratitude and smiled. And the Grand Master looked at him, then pushed him off the mountain, and he crashed to the bottom. Well, it took him months for this farmer to overcome his injuries. Yet he did overcome them, and he felt this calling once again. The calling, climb the mountain, climb the mountain. And eventually he decided, yes, I'm going to take my courage. This time I'm bringing a GPS. In addition to his GPS, he wanted to bring companions because it was lonely the first time he went up there. In addition to companions, he thought, I'm going to bring joy so that I can stop and enjoy the vistas. So with his courage, his GPS, his companions, and his joy, he climbed that mountain. It was another arduous journey, but he got to the top. And the Grand Master reached out his hand to pull him up. But this time the farmer said, no thanks, I'll climb on my own. And indeed, he pulled himself on top of that crest, spread his arms in gratitude, felt the wind rushing around his body, and he smiled. And the Grand Master smiled proudly, then pushed him off the mountain. And as the guy was falling, he said, why did you push me? And the Grand Master says, so you can spread your wings and fly. And he did indeed spread his arms, and he flew. Today, I'm talking about the roadmap to success. The roadmap is exemplified in this story. For the roadmap consists of 4 C's. The first C is the call. And the call asks us to listen and answer that voice within us that's beckoning us to the top of the mountain. It's asking us to leave security behind and take the risk to go into the unknown. Now, I've answered many calls in my life, established a career, moved to Australia, raised a family, come to California. My greatest call was to find my voice. I was raised in a family with domestic violence. I was terrified by my father. And to survive and overcome harm's way, I survived by hiding my voice. And my calling was to climb that mountain and find that voice. In many ways, it's no different than all of us here in Toastmasters. We're all called to climb that mountain, to find our voice, to use our voice, and to lead with our words. And once we do that, the climb is the next stage of the C, from the call to the climb. And the climb asks us to muster the courage to make a commitment to step forward, to step on the mountain, to start climbing the mountain to the top. Now, I learned when I was a young boy to climb mountains on my own. Mountains are not meant to be climbed alone. We're meant to have companions. And our inner GPS, our inner truth, to guide us where we're meant to be. And we're meant to find joy. So I think of the companions that I have on my road to find my voice. It's important to stop at the vistas with my companions and maybe do a round of table topics. Because, fellow Toastmasters, we are here to inspire one another to keep on climbing. Once we do climb, though, we're going to go to the next C. The next C is the crash. Because anytime we set a goal, we're going to crash. It's inevitable. The higher the endeavor, the longer the fall. And failure asks us to develop character. How do I deal with failure? How am I going to overcome obstacles that are in front of me? As a matter of fact, the crash forces me to make a commitment to get to the top. If it's really important, I'm going to get there. And that's what crashes do, failures do. And the only failure is to not learn the lesson of failure. When I haven't used my voice, I learn to use it. When I haven't gotten my message across, I have learned to speak and communicate differently. And when I do, I go to the last C, which is the CREST. Or the CREST. And the CREST asks us to celebrate our victories. It asks us to have an attitude of gratitude. Because at the CREST I can look down and look at my accomplishments. And I can see my accomplishments and I can be grateful for all that I've done. I can be grateful for all the people who helped me get to the top. Now, we are all called forward on this roadmap to success. But the ultimate success is to inspire others to climb mountains. We inspire when we answer the call. We climb the mountain. We overcome the crashes, and we celebrate the crests. That is when we spread our arms and fly. Mr. Toastmaster.